many of you in the room probably know, but the question takes me back to when I returned home from varsity for vacation and joined an underground gym where I made a few acquaintances. One morning in the squat rack, I heard a loud crash behind me. I dropped my weights and turned to see a fellow member had injured himself. My acquaintances had already surrounded him, with one of them pointing in my direction, yelling, he knows what to do. He's studying actuarial science. Puzzled, I dashed over to him, pretending to know what I was doing. I leaned over and asked him, is your health insurance in order? At least I got a laugh out of him. As a disclaimer, no persons or animals were severely injured in the creation of this speech. Making financial sense of the future. That's the actuarial slogan. We've been described as many things: mathematicians, statisticians, or even worse, accountants.
Oh, wow. You just dumped my dad.
The truth is, we train in multiple disciplines to be able to create models with accurate assumptions in order to predict the future most of the time. Now, in reading through the notes, in formulating this topic, I could have used the comparison method, but that would have resulted in a speech always showing how much better actuaries are than engineers.
Wow.
Greetings to any visitors from the Hatch Toastmaster Club, just in case. Instead, I'll take you through the chronological method and take you on my path in qualifying as an actuary. When I got to my first year at UCT, I had a major chip on my shoulder. I was prodigious. I had all A's in matric and 97% aggregate. There was no one better than me. I quickly got cut down to size. Everyone in that class had all A's. What's more was that the best students in the country were also there with their 10 distinctions and 100% aggregates. Competition aside, it was only in my second year that I found that once we graduate, we are recognized in the market as actuarial students. There's still 16 board exams to get through after that. And it was only in my third year that I had my aha moment. So that's what an actuary does. So we start off with 9 core technical exams that take us through training in statistics, economics, mortality modeling, stochastic modeling. Thereafter, we have 3 core application exams. CA1, which is a 6.5-hour exam. The notes, more than 5,000 pages. Considered the most brutal actuarial exam of them all, especially because we also expected to draw on the knowledge from the previous 9 exams. CA2, our modeling exam, where we're given a situation that we have to model in Excel, create a report and a detailed audit trail, all within 8 hours. And CA3, communications, what I consider to be my favorite exam. Why else would I have written it 5 times? It's actually really difficult to convey actuarial concepts to the layperson. The next stage is where actuaries start to specialize. Now, I specialized in finance and risk management. When I wrote and failed my first finance exam, I couldn't find the motivation to continue. I was fortunate though, at the time, I managed to land myself a role with a very supportive manager who had just passed that very same exam. He tutored me every day until I passed. And finally, the last stage, the fellowship and practice module exams, which allows us to practice as actuaries in South Africa. Now the key with actuarial exams is to 1, memorize the notes so that any bookwork questions are a breeze. 2, read as widely as possible so that we can add as much detail to our answers. And 3, practice past paper exams under exam conditions. Now, a mentor of mine had previously given me the advice that I apply not only to the exams, but in all situations. He said, practice how to panic. When we panic, our brain tends to shut down. But if we practice panicking constructively, there's nothing stopping us. As I was getting ready for my final exam, I was about to take my 2 weeks of block study leave, to practice as many past papers as possible, when I was struck with an itch on my chest. Throughout the day, it became worse, to the point where I had to get to the doctor. I unbuttoned my shirt to reveal the worst. I was struck down with a chicken pox. Yet I eat chicken every day. 2 weeks before my exam, I was gutted. My 2 weeks of study leave became 2 weeks of sick leave. I had to prevent myself from scratching, I had to use medication to help me sleep. 3 days before the exam, all healed, but not a single past paper had been done. Not a single past paper had been completed. I consoled myself by saying that I'll use this exam as my first practice at panicking. I went through my notes countless times during those 3 days. I got to the exam, there were 2 questions. The first question was similar to a project I had run at work. And the second question was book work. There is an element of luck to this after all. So what does an actuary do? We put certainty to the uncertain. We value liabilities that are dependent on how long a person will live. And we model cash flows so far into the future that interest rates have not even been fathomed as yet. We create models, educated judgments, and assumptions to predict the future most of the time. We make financial sense of the future. It's been 10 years now since I've qualified as an actuary. And every day has presented me with a different challenge. Every day, every second, I've loved that stretch. I hope that this has helped demystify or remove the shroud of what an actuary is. Thank you so much.